Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So we continue with the seerat of our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. These were the people who were either held in servitude by their masters or they were foreigners residing in Mecca. However, even those who enjoyed family honor and social esteem were not spared from the brutal victimization of the disbelievers. Some of them are as follows. Number one, when Sayyidina Uthman al-Ghani radiyallahu ta'ala anhu embraced Islam, his uncle Hakim ibn Abu al-As tied him up with a rope and in an attempt to terrify him, bellowed at him, "You have the audacity to renounce the creed of your forefathers and embrace a new religion." To this, Sayyidina Uthman radiyallahu anhu replied, "By Allah, I will never ever forsake this deen, and I will certainly not abandon it." When his uncle Hakim realized how steadfast and committed he is to his deen, he released him. Number two, when Sayyidina Zubair ibn al-Awwam radiyallahu anhu embraced Islam, his uncle wrapped him up in a sack and subjected him to continuous pulls of smoke. He left no stone unturned in an attempt to compel him to return to kufr. The Sayyidina Zubair ibn al-Awwam radiyallahu anhu would say, "Never, I will certainly not return to kufr." Number three, when Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu's brother-in-law, who was also his cousin, Sayyidina Sa'id ibn Zayd radiyallahu anhu embraced Islam, Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, who was still not a Muslim then, tied him up with ropes. Number four, when Sayyidina Khalid ibn Sa'id ibn al-As embraced Islam, his father subjected him to such a bashing that he suffered serious head injuries. His father also deprived him of all meals. Number five, when Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq and Sayyidina Talha radiyallahu anhuma accepted Islam, Nawfal ibn Khuwaylid, who was celebrated as the lion of the Quraysh, got hold of both of them and tied them up with one rope. This is why Sayyidina Abu Bakr and Sayyidina Talha radiyallahu anhuma were referred to as Qarnayn. In other words, two people yoked and tied together with a single rope. Number six, when Walid ibn al-Walid, Sayyidina Walid ibn al-Walid, Sayyidina Ayyash ibn Rabi'a, Sayyidina Salamah ibn Hisham embraced Islam, the disbelievers of Makkah put them through such pitiless hardships that they did not even allow these people to migrate. At least this migration would have brought them to some respite from the difficulties. While in Madinatul Munawwara, in Fajr Salah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam continued making dua for the safe release from the clutches of the Meccan disbelievers. He would plead with Allah, "Ya Allah, liberate Walid ibn Walid, Ayyash ibn Rabi'a, and Salama ibn Hisham, radiyallahu anhum ajma'een, from the tyrannical clutches of the kuffar, the disbelievers." Number seven, when Sayyidina Abu Dharr al-Ghifari radiyallahu anhu embraced Islam and publicly proclaimed his conversion, in the midst of the Masjid al-Haram, the disbelievers gave him such a beating that he fell unconscious to the ground. Sayyidina Abbas radiyallahu anhu rescued him from the clutches. So this brings us to the end of the chapter of the persecution of the Muslims at the hands of the Quraysh of Makkah. So we have read many of the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum, Sayyidina Bilal radiyallahu ta'ala, Sayyidina Ammar ibn Yasir, Sayyidina Suhaib ibn Sinan, Sayyidina Khabbab ibn al-Arat, Sayyidina Abu Fuqayha al-Juhani, Sayyidina Sayyidatuna Zanira radiyallahu ta'ala anhum, all of these people, and then even the so-called the leaders and the respected and the honored members of the community of the Makkah, Sayyidina Uthman al-Ghani, Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu ta'ala, even they were not spared. So all of them, even including our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the 3 hard years in the Sha'bi Abi Talib, the gorge of Abi Talib, wasn't that enough? So for 3 years, nothing. We are just, some of the people are in lockdown, and not even in the complete lockdown for the last 2 weeks or so, and people already become frustrated. Their own houses have become prison for them. The same houses which they have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to some of them to build, to furnish, and now the same houses have become like the prison for them. They can't wait to get out. So imagine for 3 long years, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the group of Sahaba radiyallahu ta'ala ajma'een, they were confined to the small valley. No food, no drink, no kind of interaction, no buying, selling, nothing. Young women, small innocent children, some elderly members of the community, how they must have survived. So this deen of Islam has reached us through such sacrifice and qurbani of our Sahaba radiallahu anhum and our Salaf, that we should appreciate that. This is why we read these Seerat, that we understand the importance and the value of this deen and the sacrifice which has been given for this deen. So may Allah grant us tawfiq to value this deen which Allah has given us. And if we have to give a little bit of qurbani, sacrifice, bear a little bit of hardships for this deen, we should always be ready at all the time, knowing and realizing the stories of the Sahaba radiallahu anhum. We are now approaching the Nisf al-Sha'ban. Right? On Wednesday night is going to be the night of the 15th of Sha'ban. The month of Sha'ban is a very blessed month. Al-Mu'mineen Ummuna Aisha radiallahu anha says that our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I have never seen Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam fast so many days other than the month of Sha'ban. In fact, in one narration she says that the entire month of Sha'ban Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would spend fasting. Entire month. In preparation for Ramadan. We don't have that, ruhaniyat, the stamina to fast for the whole month continuously. And the month of Ramadan is also coming, so many of us then we become probably tired and exhausted. And then when the real time starts, so at least some of the days we can fast. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to fast on Mondays and Thursdays. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to fast on the Ayyam al-Bid, the 13th, 14th and the 15th of the lunar months. This was his sunnah regularly. So tomorrow, Tuesday, is the 13th of Sha'ban. Then Wednesday is the 14th and Thursday is the 15th. So those of us who can fast for these 3 days, we should fast. Inshallah, we'll get lots and lots of reward and hasana. And this will also be a rehearsal for the coming month of Ramadan, inshallah. I also sent you a small message which was forwarded to us by a ulama group that one of the famous scholars of UK, Hazrat Maulana Salim Doratsa, who is also my ustaz as well. So he mentioned that some time ago, people of a certain place, they were also afflicted with a plague. And they were all kind of very much distressed and in a lot of hardships. So the scholars of that time, of that community, suggested to the people that fast for 3 days continuously, cry before Allah and beg before Allah. So when they did that for 3 days, they fasted, the whole community, and they turned to Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted the du'as. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala removed the plague from them. So inshallah, this is also a good time for us to practice that sunnah and the advice of our scholars as well. So we fast for 3 days following the Ayyam al-Bid and make this intention as well that I'm fasting for this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can also remove us from this difficulty and from this hardships with the entire humanity is facing all around the world. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq. Those people who come to the masjid, these people are obviously religious people. So we should try a little bit extra than other people. Wake up for tahajjud salah, fast if we can, read the Quran most of the day, most of the people at home. So we should not waste our time. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us tawfiq. These are the very auspicious and blessed days now, all the way from now, all the way up till the end of Ramadan, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq, inshallah. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.